Well, it's been a year.
It sure has. 1 year of ownership. Our 2020 Rockwood Mini Lite 2507s. We're going to tell you after that year what we like, what we don't, maybe a few other things. Coming up next, hit the music. Now, we could make a video an hour long about all the things we love about this particular camper. So in the interest of brevity, we're only going to list a few things that really stand out that we love about it, and a couple of things that we don't. There aren't that many. Of course, now we did do a full review of this camper when we first brought him home last year, and you can see that video right about there, I think it is. So go check that out, and you'll see everything that we pointed out at the time we brought him home. The first thing that I would like to point out that I love is actually getting inside. We love these things. These are Moride's Step Above system. Now, they're aluminum, so they're very lightweight, and they're balanced in such a way that you see that they're almost one-handed operation. You do have to be careful. We did find out that they can get away from you.
Yes, he locked me in.
But they are so much easier to deal with than the aluminum pull-out, fold-out steps you used to see more often. These are a whole lot more easier to set up, I'd say, when we get to a campsite, and certainly nicer to walk up.
And one of the things I really like and appreciate about this camper is how large this awning is. It's, if I'm remembering correctly, 19 feet, but in the summertime, well, we really have to have this. It helps keep things cooler and gives us a little bit of shade, which is important at these southern campsites in the summertime.
One aspect about this particular camper that I am very fond of, and you don't see covered in a lot of these review videos, is this walkable roof. Rockwood's reputation is that they have some of the best, if not the best, walkable roofs in the business. Now, of course, we've only owned Rockwood, so we have nothing to personally compare it to. But the two that we've owned, I have no compunction whatsoever about getting up here and doing whatever needs to be done. Washing the roof, brushing things off when we leave the campsite, mounting cameras so you guys can get that cool road footage we do for you all the time. I wouldn't get up here and dance a jig or anything, but I never have any kind of sensation of like squishy. I'm worried I'm going to put my foot through it. It feels very solid to walk up here, do what needs to be done, and then step off. So I really like that about Rockwood's build quality.
I really like having this outdoor kitchen. Now, if we didn't have it, I would be okay with that, but it has become a convenience having an outside refrigerator and cabinet, full size, full drainage sink. I mean, the water goes into our gray tank like the sink inside. There's a cooktop out here. But one thing I don't like is this refrigerator as far as in transit. It does not work on propane, so it doesn't stay cold, but my biggest beef with it is it doesn't stay shut. So if we put drinks in it or whatever, you're taking a chance that it's all going to come tumbling out as soon as you open the door. Hence the reason this is here. We've kind of figured a way to bungee it closed so that that doesn't happen to us again, because it did the first trip we took with it.
As for dislikes, admittedly, there aren't many. And this might even be getting a little bit nitpicky, but hey, you're here looking for dislikes, so I'm going to give you a few. The first thing that annoys me when we get to a campsite is the power connection. It is, and I'm not going to disconnect. I'll tell you why. This connection is threaded, and this cord has, you see there's a sleeve here. This sleeve is also threaded, and they are intended to mate like that. It is all but impossible to get them aligned properly. I don't know whether it's the fault of the cord or the fault of the connector, but I fight and fight and fight whenever we get to a campsite to get this power cord properly aligned so I can start to thread it on there and get it snugly connected. Now, once that's done, everything's fine, but that is just, it really gets the setup process off on a foot. Now, we also love the amount of exterior storage on this unit. Rockwood is very, very good about utilizing every square inch of space they can to give you additional storage, and I think they've succeeded here as well. Lots of different storage bays all around the outside of the camper. That said, in the Mini Lite line, while they are nice enough to give you magnetic catches for the doors, which is great, they aren't nice enough to give you slam latches. We're stuck with cam locks and clasps, and we haven't had any moisture seepage issues yet, but there's just something about that seal with these cam locks. I don't feel like they get as tightly sealed off as they might would with slam latches. That may just be completely my imagination, but it's not imagination, it's fact. These are not as much fun to deal with as slam latches would be. Those would be a lot easier.
Speaking of storage, one of the things I love about this camper is how much storage there is available in the different parts of the camper itself. Huge pantry in the kitchen, multiple wardrobes. The one next to the dinette allows you to hang things as well as having shelf space. The bathroom storage is enormous. We have one extremely large cabinet that's above the outdoor kitchen that I can put multiple storage cubes in it. We carry extra fans and heaters and all that kind of stuff. But there are 2 additional cabinets within the bathroom in and of itself. There's also storage under the dinette seats and above the dinette as well. There's also additional storage with the wardrobes. They're a little bit longer than our last camper, and we have small drawers as well.
A very mild, and I emphasize mild, dislike of mine is, while I do love the roominess of the interior, I mean, for a 25-foot camper, it's very roomy feeling, I'm not nuts about the viewing angle to the television from the sofa. And I understand why Rockwood had to do it that way to incorporate the Murphy bit. But that being said, when seated here, we end up at the television is so elevated from this angle that I feel like that we're kind of looking up at the television the whole time we're seated on the sofa. So we've kind of gotten in the habit of actually sitting at the dinette to watch. That's somehow feels like we're a little bit more elevated from that angle.
When we initially reviewed the shower, we were so excited about the shower doors and the fact that it has this magnet closure and that kind of thing. But as we have used it over the year, we're not quite as happy with it as we thought we would be. Let me show you. So I'm short, so I don't have a problem with height. My problem is the shower head is right here. And yes, we have replaced it, but the other one was about the same spot because we used the same mounting holes. The problem is it's here, so it's blowing in my face as I'm trying to shower and just not having range of movement. You're hitting elbows with this closed more so than you're seeing right now. So that's a little bit of a pet peeve. Those are just a few of the likes and dislikes of the 2020 2507s Rockwood Mini Lite. There have been a few changes to the 2021 model we're slightly envious of. Some things we've already mentioned, like I mentioned the shower. They have changed it back to a standard, rectangular shape with a small tub kind of shower instead of the more pie wedge, I guess, the style shower.
Corner style.
But apparently they've added the doors, the doors. So that would have been really nice. Yeah. I would like that.
One thing in the new models that I really like is that Rockwood is now putting Goodyear endurance tires on all these Mini Lites stock. No more China bombs. Now, to be fair, we personally have not had any difficulty with the Castle Rock tires that Forest River had always put on these units stock. We have been fanatical about tire maintenance. Yes. So we've managed to do okay so far. I still would like to have endurances on this thing, and that is a project for 2021. But Had we got a 2021 model, we wouldn't have to do it because Rockwood would have done it for us.
Another item I'm a little envious because I mentioned the power, outlets on my side of the bed, but also in the kitchen. There's one behind the TV, but there are no outlets around the kitchen itself. So you have to go, to the back side of the sink where there's an outlet, which is a little inconvenient because if you've watched any of my cooking videos, I like to use an Instant Pot and crock pot a lot. And so I have to add an extension cord or surge protector or something, to get an outlet closer to the cooking appliance.
So with the 2021s, Rockwood has been better about putting the little collapsible power posts
in the kitchen.
One in the kitchen, and I want to say that there's one on the nightstand, but I may be wrong about that. I'll double check about that and put the correct answer down here below. But I know they put them in the kitchen, and that would be a big help if we had that.
Yes.
And last, and probably least really important, is because it's purely aesthetic.
Yeah.
I think she agrees. This is a pretty sharp-looking camper. I like pulling this thing down the road. I feel pretty good dragging this thing down the road. That said, the 2021s, their graphics packages are sharp.
Yes.
You can get a 2507 and 2509 in this same champagne-ish color that we have. You can also get a white skin-based color scheme, which we could have done for this one too. But the one that was in stock when we went shopping that day, this is the champagne color is what they had, so we took it.
Right.
But both the champagne color and the white-based skins on the 2021s, the decal colorings, the placement of the graphics, they are some sharp-looking units. Again, I like the way this camper looks. I love the way the 2021s look. I'd really be proud to be pulling one of those things down the road.
And in the South, anytime you can get something white that's going to reflect sunlight.
Yeah.
Woo, yes. Now, those are just a few of the likes, dislikes that we have about our 2020 camper. But if you have any comments, questions, concerns, whatever, let us know. Put comments below. Ask us. We'll be glad to share what we can.
We'll shoot a fat with you about it. Social media, folks. We're always on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Keep checking with us there. Now that winter is coming to an end, hopefully we will get this wonderful machine that we 98% love back out into the world real soon, and we'll do some more living and learning.